Good day, Rift Bounders. We're going to jump straight into this one because there's so many cards, but some of them are so good. Against the odds. Cost of 2. Reaction. Play anytime, even before spells and abilities resolve. Give a friendly unit at a battlefield plus 2 might this turn for each enemy unit there. We are what we overcome. So, get really big. Gem Jammer for a cost of 2 and 2 might. When you play me, give a unit ganking this turn, which to be fair, as I want to play Rek'Sai, might find itself as a 1 or 2 of in that deck. Void Drone for a cost of 3, 3 might. I cost 2 less to play from anywhere other than your hand. Rek'Sai's children appear without warning, ambushing their prey from beneath the Shuriman sands. Again, if you've played the Legends of Runeterra version of this deck, it's very similar in how it wants to play, and I am 125% for that. Void Hatchling, cost of 2, 2 might. If you would reveal cards from the top of your deck, look at your top card first, you may recycle it, then reveal those cards. Absolutely fantastic for this deck, especially since this deck just wants you to reveal cards. Why reveal 3 when you could reveal 4? Or most times, or reveal 2 if you could do 3. Either way, Void Hatchling, very good costing, happy to play. Now for the counter attacking. Rengar, pouncing for cost of 3, recycle 1 with might of 3. Reaction, can play anytime you want to, assault plus 2 while you are the attacker, and I can be played to a battlefield you are attacking. Tonight, we hunt. Again, fantastic card. I want Kha'Zix to also have this as well whenever they do Kha'Zix, because this makes total sense to me, and yeah, I like to have an aggressive reaction play, not just like Shen's where it's more of a defensive reaction play. Dune Breaker for a cost of 7, recycle 1, 7 might. If you have 2 of your cards in your hand, I enter ready. When I hold, draw 2. Dunes don't break like branches, they break like waves. Fantastic. I look forward to this being a super expensive card in the near future, although I also feel like it's probably only really going to be in Rek'Sai for the time being, but things can change if Red needs a bigger body to go through, but this is Rek'Sai for me. Royal Entourage for cost of 3, recycle 1 and 4 might. When you play me, ready or exhaust a legend. That is absolutely bonkers to me, the fact that you can either replay a legend's effect or essentially stop your opponent from having their effect go off on your turn. After the seat of the ancient Shuriman Empire rose from the sands and its immortal emperor stood out of myth to lead it, those who first embraced his rule were richly rewarded. Not so fast. Cost of 2, recycle 1. Reaction play, and then counter an enemy spell or ability that chooses a friendly unit or gear. This technically only stops single target spells or abilities that choose a friendly unit or gear. Anything that has to target multiple times or does target multiple times has to resolve the ability to do multiple targets for this to counter it. So things like the Caffeine Rain, this only stops 1 targeting of the 6, and Falling Star only has 1 counted as opposed to the both. Although something like Singularity, where you get to just target 2 things through the ability, is counted. It doesn't make a lot of sense verbally, but it's how the game rules work, so I do apologise. It's how the stack works, and then how the stack triggers reflective triggers. So, yeah, fun. Stellarcorn Herder. Cost of 4, 3 might, and then when I move, draw 1, which isn't terrible. It makes sense as a herder, a shepherd. Finding lost Stellarcorns is easy, it's catching them that's the hard part, which, too true. Aphelios Exalted for a cost of 4 and recycling 1, 4 might, and then when you attach an equipment to me, choose one that hasn't been chosen this turn. Ready 2 runes, channel 1 exhausted rune, or buff a friendly unit, which are all very good effects. Azir Ascended for a cost of 6, recycling 1 and 6 might. Action for the cost of 1. Choose a unit you control, move me to its location and it to my original location. If it's equipped, you may attach one of its equipments to me. Use only once per turn. Oh, is that the Shuriman Shuffle? Challenge Shurima, challenge Fate. Awesome. Also, 6 more vodkas. You're just doing all the artwork. Fantastic job. I really like this. I love any of the cards that essentially do their abilities or what they're known for as part of their cards. So I'm always down for things like this. And then we have the lovely Space Stargate SG-1 Azir. Needlessly large Yordle, not the needlessly large thing I was hoping for a cost of 10, recycle free, 5 might shield, 5, so plus 5 might while defending, and then tank. I must be assigned combat damage first. I cost 2 less for each point you scored from holding this turn. So it's not great, but I mean, as a defensive thing, if you've got the Rune spare, maybe one of in a deck that maybe wants to have these giant creatures. If you're running a deck that obviously has access to Aurora, this is also fine, but currently I think it's going to be a bit of a pain to try and play with. Breakneck Mech, love the name. Cost of 8, recycle 2, 7 might, very good. Your mechs have deflect and ganking. Damn! I enter ready if you control another mech. This card is cracked. I love this card. This is such a good card. Also, fantastic artwork. Price of progress, cost of 4, recycle 1, 3 might. When you use an activated ability of a gear, give me +1 this turn, which obviously there are a few in this you could use. Probably the easiest is like the orb from set 1 to your opponent's creatures, which makes sense that this would then trigger to give itself +1. Small text, but still cool. In Piltover, Progress Day, Parade, even the floats are groundbreaking innovations. Ezreal dashing for a cost of 4, recycle 1, 3 might. When I attack or defend, deal damage equal to my might to an enemy unit here. I don't deal combat damage. And then action, move me to your base. Time for a true display of skill. You suck, Ezreal. This just makes sense that it's essentially him. I want to say arcane shifting. I think it's arcane shifting. So essentially, he never really fights you. He just deals damage on the way in and out. Technically, I guess. It's thematically fine, but not necessarily the greatest card. I don't dislike it. I can see this actually having some good stuff for the Ezreal deck going forwards if it is about jumping in and out. We haven't seen the purple Ezreal yet, as far as I'm aware, so that could be maybe the other way around, so it only deals combat damage but can also arcane shift in, but we'll find out hopefully soon, with the arcade skin as the alternate art. Marching orders for a cost of 3, action and can be repeated for a cost of 3. Choose a friendly unit anywhere and an enemy unit at a battlefield. They deal damage equal to their might to each other, which, if your opponent's trying to avoid fighting you on a battlefield they know they can't win on, this is a great way of basically punishing them for trying to be wussy panty boys. Bone Shiver, not expecting to see Mr. Trundle's weapon here at all. For the cost of 3, equip for 1 body, and when I conquer, channel 1 Rune Exalted, +2 might. I quite like this card. I don't necessarily think it's going to be the greatest, but for anything that is in orange that will want to fight with this body-wise, I think it's going to be a decent pickup as a fairly good piece of equipment. Just like Sivir, for a cost of 6, recycle 3, 7 might, which is pretty tough, deflect 2, and then when I conquer, after an attack, if you are assigned 5 or more access damage to an enemy unit, you may deal that much to an enemy unit. Honor is the rust on a door blade. It doesn't say in the same battlefield, so I presume you can just literally point to something and go, give that 5. I quite like this if it's meant to be like for chump blocking, so your opponent goes, hey, here's a 1 recruit token with 1 might. You've got 7, you do 6 damage to it. Oh, look at that, let's move it along. Sivir, it's cute. It's been a long time. Whichever one the boomerang is, I think it is where it travels along the minions. Makes sense. I like it. Thematically, it's very good. And then we have the alternate, which I'm not too sure of this. I haven't played League for a few years, to be fair, at this point. So I'm not too sure on all the newer skin lines, but very pretty. A card I wasn't expecting it this early anyway. Fizz Trickster for a cost of 3 might. When you play me, you may play a spell from your trash with energy cost no more than 3. Ignoring its energy cost, recycle that spell after you play it. You must still pay its power costs. 1 jump ahead of you. Purple is an insane colour because it has so many like combat tricks. It has so many things you can do just to be cheeky. It's got so much draw power, so much removal. It's such a good colour. And then you get a card like this just says, sod it, you now play cards at 4 instead of at 3 of. And goddamn Fizz. I think it's a good card, as you can tell by my quite happiness to talk about this card. I want to see what we can get in the future. Also, I'd like to see what the Fizz deck will do in the future, especially if they use this one as a representative in the future. And then from one Yordle to the next, Vex Cheerless. This emo cat girl For a cost of 5, recycle 1. Yes, I know yours on Kagos. 5 might. While I'm in combat, friendly spells cost 1 and a power less to a minimum of 1, and any spells cost 1 and a power more. Let's turn those smiles upside down. Yay. I think this is really good in something like Annie, where you just want to be able to pump out more spells while stopping your opponent from really like spelling you back. I think it's going to be pretty good in that deck. We'll see how it goes. But again, a fairly fun interaction. Bonds of Strength. Cost of 2. Reaction. You can repeat twice. Give 2 friendly units each +1 might this turn. So for a cost of 4, you can give 2 friendly units +2 or 4 friendly units +1, I think. Royal Guard. When you play me, play a 2 Might Sand Soldier unit token here. For a cost of 4. 2 Might. Not too bad. So essentially you're getting 4 for 4 on 2 bodies. So 2/2 isn't too bad. A ruler's true power is in the loyalty they inspire. When I saw this one, because this has technically been out for like a full day at least, I was like, this is going straight into Victor. For a cost of 7, recycle 1, gear, play 3 recruit unit tokens. You may play them to different locations. It takes more than a sword and a shield to make a soldier, but it's a good start. There's so many cool things that I like about going wide boards, especially when it's all like wide weenies. And this is just something that's really good. If you have a piece of equipment or a legend or a champion in the future that just says ready a gear, which I think we would probably do to be fair, this will just get broken if it's in yellow. Renata Gask, Industrialist, cost of 4, recycle 1, 4 damage, your tokens enter ready, which one is so good because gold now becomes basically instantly usable in this deck, as well as all those tokens that came into play on their sides. So fight the power. And also coming in here with their beautiful Street Fighter alternate art that is very menacing to anyone on the Rift. Sacred Shears for a cost of 2, recycle 1, and then equip for 1 order. Death Kill, draw 1. When I die, get the effect, and then +1 for the might. I quite like these in any deck that can use these. Obviously, people will tell you that Azir gets to use these for free because of how they work. But again, in things like Renata, in things like Victor, where you are going to have a lot of white weenies, where a lot of little weenies are going to throw themselves into their own dooms, your opponent will eventually have to possibly just take them off the shop and will have to give you that draw power. Overall, though, I think these are pretty cool for what they are. Probably won't run them at 3R, but you might run them as 1 or a 2. So Rocker, Wanderer, cost of 4, recycle 1, 4 might. I must be assigned combat damage last. How many supports do you know that this would ever happen to? They always run in first or die in a bush. If another unit you control here would die, if it has less might than me, instead heal it, exhaust it and recall it. Send to base, this isn't a move. Never waste a breath. Absolutely cool card. I'm not 100% sure where she's meant to be going. Obviously you can just use like a one-of in a deck just to be like this cool, interesting, interactive piece. Very cool in my opinion, but again, yellow is the order colour and can definitely slot it in somewhere fun in the future. Corina Veraza, for a cost of 7, recycle 1, 6 might, accelerate, can pay 1 and an order, and when I move to a battlefield, play 3 recruit unit tokens here. I told them that every achievement had its cost. I didn't tell them who would pay. I think this is a very good card. Technically 7 and 1 is a bit high, but the amount of things you're getting through it, you're getting a 6 cost, big body, so it already comes in mighty. You have 3 tokens that come in, so this now is 9 for 7. Very good. As they go to a battlefield, you just get them on the field in a way, so you are just essentially going from 6 to 9, basically swarming the field. Overall, really good card. I'm really happy with this. I'm going to obviously play it in something like Renata. You probably could play it in something along the lines of Victor. Obviously, there is the original battlefield that if you got 7 or more tokens in the area, you win the game. So this is possibly a good way of accelerating that for essentially 3 things going straight into the battlefield that could upset your opponent very quickly. So having 3 bodies in there, then making it 4 into 7 is very shocking. We also have Power Nexus. When you hold here, you may pay up to 4 power to score 1 point. I think this is going to be pretty good in some decks. The purple Draven we saw the other day can definitely do some terrible things with this card. I think we've figured out that you can go from 4 to 7 easily on 1 turn. and then maybe from 4 to 8 also on the follow-up turn if you have the right things. And then Raven Bloom Conservatory. When you defend here, reveal the top card of your main deck. If it's a spell, put it in your hand, otherwise recycle it. This I can see is good in Annie. If you're playing the support 2v2 game with Renata, it'd be really good if you need to get more counter spells going. Possibly really good in any spell slingery deck, so maybe even as like a third card for Kaiser, or even something maybe like a set. It's like, hey, I don't really have a good third base, but at least this way it gets me to a showstopper. Overall, though, I think there's been some fantastically good cards, and hopefully you guys agree too.